गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ध्यानमूलं गुरुर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरुपदं मन्त्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरुकृपा। ॐ कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय, सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय, कृष्ण भगवान की जय, गीता माता की जय। हरि ओम। We are discussing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, the science of meditation, and in that yesterday we saw the 27th stanza. प्रशांत मनसम ह्येनम योगिनम सुखमुत्तमम उपेति शांतरजसम ब्रह्मभूतम अकल्मषम। Yesterday we saw supreme bliss verily comes to this yogi whose mind is quite peaceful, whose passion is quieted, who has become Brahman and who is free from sin. We saw what is sin yesterday, and today we shall see the next sloka, 28th. Yunjeva sadatmanam योगी विगत कल्मषः सुखेन ब्रह्म संस्पर्शम अत्यंतम सुखमश्नुते। The yogi, always engaging the mind thus in the practice of yoga, freed from sins, easily enjoys the infinite bliss of contact with Brahman, the eternal being. So, we have seen all the processes, how the mind should be trained by controlling the senses and centrifying the thought waves on the center, that is the absolute equilibrium state, that is called the supreme truth, Brahman. And this practice we have seen elaborately and analytically also how the process should be practiced. And freed from sins. Sins are destructive or obstructive thought waves, so it is controlled by his continuous practice and easily enjoys the infinite bliss. Bliss means it is something, not happiness, not unhappiness. It is something beyond it. You see, if we see the existence of Absolute, who is to prove the existence of absolute. Who is there to prove it? So it itself, because it is absolutely one without a second, so this proof and proved object, this question doesn't arise there, because it is one. All these are possible in a relative, comparative, our world. But they are where one absolute exists without a second. Who will prove that it does exist? Who is the proof? How is the proof? What is the proof? So we have to understand the awareness of existence itself is the proof for it. The awareness of existence itself. So existence itself is called Sat, and awareness of the existence is called Chit, Chetan. Chetan is nothing but awareness. So he himself is aware that I do exist. My existence cannot be denied. That is by itself. Just as we can take the example of ourselves. I know I do exist. There is no need of any proof for it. Of course, nowadays some proofs, because we do belong to dualistic world. So even the person is standing before the clerk on the counter. He says, if you want to draw your pension money, you have to bring your proof that you are not dead, you are yet alive. This is a type of peculiar demand. You have to bring your test certificate that you are yet alive. He is standing before you, but it is not enough, because it is a relative world. One has to be proved by others. So some doctors have to certify that he is alive. But such type of proofs are not needed in the case of absolute one, because we are in the relative dualistic world. We need proofs. There which is absolutely one, everything happens within it itself. So the existence is aware of, that is called Sat is Chetan. The existence itself is awareness. It is aware that I am existing. And a kind of satisfaction or a kind of, say, contentment we get by our awareness of our existence. That contentment cannot be expressed. That is called neither happiness nor unhappiness. It is called something beyond it. That is termed as bliss. The existence is aware of itself and is quite contented by it. So Sat, Chit, Anand. One thing is stated in three terms. Simply it is one. It is aware of itself, and the satisfaction of full satisfaction, there is no doubt in it. and by that he has nothing to achieve anything more than it. So that state is called Sat Chit Anand. That is called bliss, absolute, eternal bliss, and that is called as Brahman or truth or supreme self. In different terms we know it. Infinite bliss which is never ending nor started anywhere. It is ever existing. And that is the bliss by itself. There is no cause for it, nor any effect of it. This is enjoyed by the yogi who has established himself on that absolute equilibrium state. Yes?
So Maharaj, so relatively should we understand?
Little louder, I am unable to hear.
Relatively should we understand that in existence, time and space is there, or it is time and space is not?
Still louder. I am unable to hear. My ears are not able to hear anything.
Existence, time and space. Time and space is...
No, nothing is there. It is one. There is no time and space are relative terms. How many times we have seen it? All this relativity, comparison, in obstructions or interrupted objects or process is not there. No interruption in that absolute. So interrupted process is known as time and space and conditions. Where there is no interruptions or breakage, we don't know what is time. There is no question of space, no question of changing, no question of relationship. Nothing is there. So one has got not all these. No question arises. No time, nothing. Time is nothing but the same energy, same changing phenomena, same nature, same mind, same prana. Everything is just seen from different angles and named differently by different seers. That's all. Maya is one and Brahman is one. Maya is seen, nature is seen in innumerable features or changing phenomena, whereas there is no such things in the absolute truth. Simple, so simple. So, he says, by yogic practices, such as the withdrawal of the senses, concentration and meditation, he loses contact with the objects of the senses. This we have seen several times. And comes into contact with the Brahman or the immortal self within. That means that also so clearly we have discussed. That is, within means it is the center of everything. And that is also non-changing, ever constant. And that is, we know as self, the Supreme Self, and that is, there is no question of birth or death or rise and set or appearance or non-appearance. All these words are not applied there. So it is called immortal, Immortal means which is never born, never died, which has got no change. That is called immortal. That is called the Supreme Self, and that is also within. Within, where within? No question. It is the center of everything. Center of everything. It is the cone we have seen. Of course, no paper. The cone. कोई कागज कहीं नहीं. कोई बात नहीं. अरे ये सही. So many times we have seen it. Anuranyan Mahatomayan. Nobody knows where is the center and how subtle it is. This is called the truth, and this is called also the world. Everything is within a time pass, eating some mungfali or chanachur. Are you able to see this cone? To put some salties in it and go on eating and passing time. Ice cream, yes. But ice cream is not. Yes, they put in such conical. Yes. Ice cream. Here it is subtler than the subtlemost, and here it is greater than the greatest. So this is called center, and these are all the innumerable circles around the center. Innumerable circles. Unending. So this is called the truth, and this is also the world. Go on comparing. चलो 500 रुपया बच गया. Now the doubt is cleared. In this way he says, the center is known as absolute equilibrium, the immortal self, eternal bliss, unending, not started, not ending. And within means, in this way, within the within. And thus enjoy the infinite bliss, there is no end to it, of the Brahman. So sensual pleasures are transitory or fleeting, but the bliss of the Brahman is uninterrupted, because it is absolutely one without a second, which is known by the modern scientists, the absolute singularity, they say. What is called singularity? Is it different than without a second? Second means a third, fourth, all will come. Same thing, only terms are different. Terms are different. So the Brahman is uninterrupted, It is continuous, undecaying, because there is no end, because it is all pervading, and everlasting. That is the reason why one should attempt to realize the self within. It is not outside. Outside and inside, these two feelings are due to a demarcating line. That demarcating line is because of the sense of the body sense. Because body is limited and it has got demarcation, some linings. So we understand what is within and what is without. If this demarcating line is deleted, there is no in, there is no out. So what happens? It is everything one and continuous. That is, in other words, they say, whatever is there within the heart of hearts, in the core of your heart, that is expressed outside, Swapnam Drisya Darpanam Vishwam Darpan Drishyamana Nagarim Tulyam Nijantargatam. The outside world is seen within only, just as the reflections in the mirror is nowhere outside, it is you yourself. Your reflection is seen in the mirror outside. Similarly, these worlds, whatever we see in the form of names and forms, or doing process and done triads, they are nowhere outside, it is within your own self. What is that within? Nobody knows. Relatively, it cannot be said what is within. Innermost than the innermost. Go on finding where it is, how it is. So, in this way, the yogi is being established within the heart. They don't see anything outside. There is no question of outside. That is how they say the self within, and thus enjoy the infinite bliss of Brahman. Sensual pleasures are transitory or fleeting, but the bliss of the Brahman is uninterrupted, undecaying, and everlasting. That is the reason why one should attempt to realize this self within. It is not outside. But sometimes, though we meditate something within our heart or within the eyebrows or on the tip of the nose, somewhere in the body, within we feel and realize the object where our mind is settled down. So that object becomes vivid to us, and that is seen within. Say, for example, some deities of some devotees, they see the real form of the deity which can have transaction with the devotee. That means all these talking or hearing or having relationships, all these are possible even within. And that form whatever you have been concentrating upon, that will be seen by the mental eye, means the mind when established in it, you see the form. Just as we see our different forms, we have relationship with. And then comes the question, if you have realized the truth inside your deity, you have seen inside, what about outer world? When you open your eyes, your senses are open, not controlled. They have to have contact with the sense objects. How one will feel then? That should be without interruptions. There is no within and without. That's how. When one meditates within and see the same thing outside also, then only there is within and without are same. So then only the body sense will be deleted forever. That person will not have any more body sense. He cannot think, I am the body, because inside and outside both are same. That is what is explained by our great yogi, who Drishyam Darpanam Vishwam Darpanam Drishyamana Nagarim. Whose verse it is? As Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti. Lord Shiva took that form, who explained everything in silence only. Silence is the language of the self. There is no question of sound or anything relative, hearer and heard. No question. Yes?
Libraries, they maintain silence.
Pardon?
Libraries, they maintain silence, board is there.
In the library.
In the library.
Yes. That is relative silence. Keeping quiet by mouth. Mind will be working. That is for our day-to-day affairs. So this the yogi enjoys eternally. That is the reason why one should attempt to realize the self within. That within is without, there is no question of outside or inside. Within means the center, that's all. And just as this cone, center is one, how many innumerable circles around it is seen? And there is, in the cone there is no within and without. Everything is within or without. The yogi removes the obstacles that stand in the way of obtaining union with the Lord, and thus always keeps the mind steady in the self. And how it will be the realization of the self? It is just like a pot sky uniting with the outer sky. What is the meaning of union there? When the pot is broken, what happens to the inside sky? Does it unite with the outer sky? There is no question of union. But we have to express. Something happens, so that expression is to be in this way. There is no question of union. There is no question of desirelessness. There is no question of attending the liberation or attending freedom. Getting freedom means to get rid of the sense of limitation of the pot. When the pot is broken, forever the inside sky remains as it is. So mukti, liberation or union, kaivalya or nirvana, the desireless state, all these are only some terms which have got no meaning. No meaning. There is no such thing which can be said to be union or liberation or nirvana or freedom. All these are meaningless when one attains that state. That's why it is said, the truth is beyond speech, mind and intellect, beyond prana, beyond time and space.
State.
So in this way, the seeker who has attained that state, he enjoys the eternal bliss. And there is no question of sins. Sukham atyantam asnute. Atyantam, there is no end to the blessedness, the eternal bliss. Then sarva bhutastham atmanam sarva bhutani cha atmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarsanaha. Then here we understand clearly what is called samadrishti, what is called equal vision. There is no vision at all, which is known as equal vision. No vision. Sarva bhutastha atmanam, that center is everywhere in the cone. Wherever you see a circle, there will be the center, and innumerable centers in one center. Centered on the center, innumerable centers are centered in one center. So that is sarva bhutastha atmanam. The central blessedness is called the Supreme Self, Atma, and that is present everywhere. That is how one feels, I am all pervading. I am present everywhere, in all conditions. I am unconditional. Sarva bhutastham atmanam, sarva bhutani cha atmani. And whatever is seen outside or inside, they are centered on the center. So they are naturally subject to the center. In this way, all the visible names and forms, all these 5 elements, basic elements, all the beings are called bhutas, and 5 elements are also called bhutas. So everything is in everything. This is how one feels within the heart of hearts. Sarvabhutastha Atmanam Sarvabhutani cha Atmani. Everything is in the center, and center is ever present everywhere. Because every circle will have a center. So those centers are present everywhere. In one circle we will have several centers. Though for that particular circle there will be one center. But within that how many circles are there? Within one circle how many circles you can draw? Innumerable. That particular circle will have a lining, and that gives its demarcation. But outside it, inside it, innumerable circles can be drawn on one circle, one center. So there is no question of many centers or one center. Center is all pervading. And similarly, circles are only imaginary linings. There is no countability of the circles, innumerable circles. This is how the Maya also is infinite, ever growing or never changing. Never changing means ever existing. The change within non-changing state and changing and non-changing in changing state. That is when we see that is called relativity. Two things relatively we understand. So this is how myself is in every self and every self is within me. मुझ में जग है, जग में मैं. Lord is present in all beings. That's how he said Vasudeva. The Vasudeva word has got two opposite meanings. One who abides in all beings is called Vasudeva. Vasam karoti iti. One who abides in every beings. He is called Vasudeva, and in whom all the beings abide. Vasam dadati iti Vasudeva. One who gives abode to everything. One who holds everything. He is also called Vasudeva. Vasam dadati iti vasam karoti iti. One who abides in every being and in whom all the beings abide. So this cone will be the best example for all such examples. In the same cone, thousands circles are centered, and the center also is in everywhere present. This is how the Absolute is ever present, all pervading, and all the relative worlds, not one innumerable worlds, they are also in the Absolute. Sarvabhutastam atmanam sarvabhutani cha atmani ikshate yoga yuktatma. One who is established in this self, he sees in this way. Sarvatra samadarsana. Everywhere, everything is there, present at all conditions, eternally. And this is how the modern scientists opine on the energy. Energy is all pervading and at all time, in all conditions, everywhere. Energy. Only one energy is seen in other way, that's why the changes are being felt by in the relative world. Energy changes. That is the changing phenomena of this relative world. Because it itself sees itself in many ways because of flittering, because of changing, and that changing is due to non-fixing, because it is not centered in one. It always filters, just like the vision of the water in the mirage. There is no water, but we see the water because of the heat in the air on the desert, because air is always heated up. So there we see some types of some waves, and that gives us the wrong assumption of water. And this is how our great Guru Shankaracharya always gives the example. The snake on the rope. And we also always see the blueness of the sky, the beauty of morning sky and evening sky, Sandhya. Where does that beauty disappear? When the Sandhya passes and merges in dark night, where that beauty goes, where from it came? It is only some assumptions, some imaginations. There is no beauty, there is no ugliness, nothing is there. We have just taken as something. Something is something or other is taken as something or other in some conditions or other by someone or other for some time or other, and that is called our personality or other. That is called the Maya, our relative world. This is how the yogi established on the self, he feels, he experiences, and that is called equal vision. Equal vision is not seeing the nose as the ears and ears as the eyes. That is not called equal vision. Because the yogi has got equal vision, so he should eat with my eyes, and he should see by the nose, and he should walk by the head, and he should do everything by the head or back, not by the legs or not by the hands. That is not called equal vision. Equal vision means the one angle which holds the whole 360 degree. That is called equal vision. Sarvatra Samadarshana, at all places, at all time, in all conditions, he sees the self everywhere, the center everywhere. So that is called Samadarshana, equal vision. The yogi, with the mind harmonized by yoga, He sees the self abiding in all beings and all beings in the self. He sees the same everywhere. What is that same? One thing. That is, according to our analytical process, we say it is the center. And that is the heart of hearts, core of heart. He sees everywhere the same. The yogi beholds through the eye of intuition, jnana chakshu or divya chakshu, that is called divya darshan also, which holds everything in one angle. That is called all-round vision. Many where we have seen, just as in Gita itself, whatever was going on in the battlefield, our blind king Dhritarashtra could not see it, so he wanted to get all the information. Because he was blind, so he cannot see. So he asked Lord Krishna, "Oh Lord, please somehow arrange something so that I can get all the information here itself about the battlefield, what is going on. Because I cannot come there and see everything. I want to know." So Lord gave this equal vision or all-pervading vision or all-round vision to Sanjay the minister. So he was sitting there just as your video calls now. We are sitting here and we can see the person at America and we can talk to him. Everything is possible here. This is by the radio waves. They take no time and they are so possible nowadays. So in this way, there was set before the video set, before Sanjay, and everything was arranged online battle.
Technology.
Yes, Krishna did it because he was all powerful, he was master of all the arts. Krishna was said to be master of 64 arts. So he could do it, telepathy or video show. So Sanjay saw everything practically, every details, and informed to Dhritarashtra that was possible. And in many other places, many other instances we see. Vishwarup also, Vishwarup Darshan also, Arjuna was unable to see that. But Lord said, Divyam dadami te chakshum. I shall give you all-round vision, how to see. See my form, how I am present everywhere in all conditions, in all forms. I am only present everywhere. See my form. And when Arjuna saw it, he was bewildered, he was terrified, he was threatened. He could not see that for a long time. Because we are not habituated to see everything at all conditions in every way. We will be nowhere. Our habit of our little mind, limited mind, is so little, we cannot hold it. Swamiji?
Here one question arises.
Yes.
Arjun was unable to see. So he gave vision to Arjuna.
Yes.
And Dhritarashtra is also unable to see. Why he did not give that such vision to her?
to uh, Dhritarashtra, why he didn't give the inner vision or all-round vision?
Yeah,
Because he had the helpers around him. Arjuna had no helpers here without Krishna. So he has to realize himself. There was no subordinates to Arjuna to help him. According to the situations, the same vision was given to Yashoda in the childhood, and same vision was given to Kausalya by Rama in his childhood. So many Brahmans she saw in the mouth of Lord Rama. So many words. And similarly, Yashoda also visualized to see whether he has eaten some mitti, some clay. Yashoda wanted to see his mouth, and when he opened his mouth, Yashoda could see innumerable words within his mouth. So according to time, according to the need of the hour, because he has come to the relative world, so he has to behave relatively. He cannot behave as all-pervading Lord all the time. He has to behave in the relative world. So in this way, the yogi who is established in the truth beholds through the eye of intuition, that is called Jnana Chakshu or Divya Chakshu, oneness of unity of the self everywhere. This is a sublime and magnanimous vision indeed. He feels all indeed is Brahman. He beholds that all beings are one with Brahman, and that the self and Brahman are identical. They are not different from each other. And this vision, when first time the seeker visualizes, at that time thrilling in the body and stoppage of mind, and he will be unable to judge anything. So that is called what we call wonderstruck. So he will be spellbound. Nothing he can express. At that time, his state will be something strangely different from all other experiences of this relative world. Sometimes the devotees, they enjoy such glimpses in ecstasy, when they are overwhelmed with the feeling of the Lord or name of the Lord or His presence. They feel ecstasy, means overwhelmed joy. There they become spellbound. Nothing they can see, nothing they can utter, something strange feeling. And there the eyes will be full of tears, and the body will have thrillings, or the hairs will stand on its root. Some strange feeling. There will be thrilling in the body. The body cannot resist it. That is how the great seers, they experience it. So tomorrow we shall see further. Yomam pasyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pasyati tasyaham na pranasyami na chamesa pranasyati. For such a person, neither I have to respect him, magnify him, or admire him. There is no difference who will admire whom. And nor he has to salute me, nor he has to respect me. No such question. All these are only possible in relative world, giving respect to others so that we will be respected by others. Do unto others as you wish to be done by others. These are rules for relative world, relative life. On that state of absolute, all these are not possible, so neither Lord respects him. Do you respect yourself? If this question is answered, then he will respect others. He will respect his devotees. No question arises. Just as I never feel of my absence, I never feel my absence in the whole body because I feel whole total feeling of the body at a time, all round. So in that way, I am present in the body, in the limbs of the body, everywhere, at all time, in all conditions. Similarly, a person who has realized the truth, he feels that, and yet, though I feel oneness with the limbs of the body everywhere, at all time, in all conditions, yet my limbs move and they do some actions. Is there any difficulty? They move within themselves. Indriyani indriyarthebhya vartanta iti dharayan. The realized soul realizes the senses do for sense. They do for within themselves. If I scratch my skin somewhere, is it doing somewhere else? Scratching? Or doing some cleaning some eyes or ears? That is within itself, so everything is within itself. That's how there is no question of respecting or getting respect. We shall see it elaborately tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Sachidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Gita Mata ki jai. Hari Om.